Now to our other top story. Former President Donald Trump has been indicted.
Yeah, this is all in relation to his handling of classified information from when he left office.
It's Trump himself announcing the latest indictment, saying he'd been summoned to appear in court on Tuesday. Just the very latest chapter in this ongoing controversy. Former President Donald Trump taking to social media Thursday, saying he'd been informed that a federal grand jury has voted to indict him, all related to the special counsel's investigation into his handling of classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate after leaving office. Trump posting a video message online.
I'm innocent, and we will prove that very, very soundly and hopefully very quickly. Thank you very much.
ABC News sources say there will be at least 7 counts ranging from willful retention of national defense information to conspiracy to obstruct justice to corruptly concealing a document or record. Trump's alleged refusal to return government records to the National Archives prompted a federal judge to authorize a search of his Mar-a-Lago home last August. That search turning up more than 100 classified documents, despite Trump's team saying all requested materials were handed over. ABC's Pierre Thomas saying his sources expect the indictment will lay out prosecutors' case in stunning detail.
They have told me that the evidence amassed by the FBI is compelling and in some cases devastating.
On Monday, Trump's lawyers met with at least one Department of Justice official and with special counsel Jack Smith, the federal prosecutor, Attorney General Merrick Garland, appointed to lead the probe. The meeting followed Trump and his defense team receiving a target letter weeks earlier from the DOJ notifying them Trump was the focus of a criminal investigation. Trump, a candidate for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, now adding a new battle.
He is battling for his political life here. He may be battling for his freedom. These are serious charges that could mean a serious jail time.
Arizona lawmakers reacting to this, to the very latest Donald Trump indictment. Congressman Andy Biggs saying on Twitter, quote, "We ought to defund and dismantle the DOJ. I stand with President Trump." And Representative Ruben Gallego also weighing in on Twitter, writing, quote, "This is a serious indictment, and as such, it shouldn't be handled lightly. We must respect the rule of law and let the legal process play out."
Tonight's news has a lot of people talking, not just lawmakers, but also political experts and everyday Arizonans. Unprecedented territory. That's how many Arizonans are reacting to the latest indictment of former President Donald Trump, saying this huge headline could reignite his base.
We saw the last time that he was indicted, he got a huge bump in terms of contributions nationally from small donors. I'm utterly certain that will happen again.
However, David Wade, former chairman of the Arizona Democratic Party, says this should add pause to his party, believing there's no benefit.
I am sure that Joe Biden will not react to this with any kind of sort of political glee. I mean, I think this is a very serious moment for the entire country. This is not a proud moment for us. And, what's at stake is, do we support the rule of law or, do we support the office of the presidency? And there's really a conflict here.
Republican political consultant Stan Barnes agrees there's conflict, which will drive an even bigger wedge in political ideology.
Many Arizonans will take it as proof of the corruption of Washington. Many Arizonans will take it as proof that Donald Trump needs to go to jail. And the divide in our constituency, we, the people of Arizona, is going to be greater than the Grand Canyon.
People living in the valley also learned about the indictment and reacted when we caught up with them Thursday night in Tempe.
I think Trump ought to be in jail.
It's just a witch hunt. They're just looking for things to, throwing enough spaghetti against the wall, waiting for it to stick. They're trying to get him out of the running, and it's just, I just want the best man to win.
I'm not really that worried about it. I'm just kind of looking at all the candidates that are coming out for 2024 and just, let's see who can turn this economy around.
Tonight, we also want to break down how we got here. Here's a timeline with the key events leading up to now pertaining to the first and now second indictment of the former president. January 20th, 2021, when President Donald Trump packed up and left the White House. Just a few months later in May, the National Archives and Records Administration, or NARA, realized some documents appeared to be missing related to Trump's presidency. Fast forward to 2022, and on January 18th, NARA received 15 boxes of presidential records that included 184 documents with classified markings. Of that, 92 were labeled secret and 25 top secret. Then on May 11th of 2022, the Justice Department, after much back and forth with former President Trump's lawyers, issued a subpoena for additional records. Then in June, the FBI would collect additional material at Mar-a-Lago from Trump's attorney, but in August obtained a search warrant and on the 8th raided that resort, seizing more than 100 classified records. Months later, on November 18th, Attorney General Merrick Garland announced Jack Smith as a special counsel to oversee the investigation into the documents, as well as a separate probe into the January 6th insurrection and efforts to overthrow the 2020 election. While those documents and evidence would be reviewed for months, in a separate investigation, a grand jury convened in Manhattan on January 30th of this year, reviewing a criminal probe into Donald Trump's hush money payment by adult film actress Stormy Daniels. It would be exactly 2 months later that Trump was indicted in that case, becoming the first U.S. president, sitting or former, to be criminally charged. Days later, he would plead not guilty to the 34-count felony indictment. That brings us to now in the classified documents case. Special counsel Jack Smith wrapping up his investigation and announcing a new indictment. Trump will have to again show up in court, this time in Miami on Tuesday for his arraignment. Meanwhile, he still faces 2 other investigations, both pertaining to the 2020 election and whether he tried to subvert the results. And be sure to stay with ABC 15 for the very latest on Donald Trump's indictment. We'll be following new developments in the days ahead right here on air and online at abc15.com.